Hey, what's up, Juan? It's Tristan with Big Picture SEO. We spoke on the phone just a little bit earlier today, and I told you I'd shoot you over this video just showing you a couple ways you can boost your online presence, and this is that video. So I don't want to take up a lot of your time with this, so I'm just going to get straight into it. Now, the way that I usually do this is I'll go through and I'll record, whoever it is I'm sending this video to, their website, and yeah, I'll show them, how they're organically ranking and give them tips from there. Since you don't have a website, at least not one that's attached to your GBP or one that I could find on the first page. Let's just go through again. Yeah, no, not any on the first page. That's yours. So I'm just gonna assume that you don't have one. If you do, I apologize. But usually I'll go through, I'll show them their information and then I'll compare. But I can't really do that with you, so I'm just going to show you the #1 competitor. So if you look up landscaping El Paso, the very first organic website to pop up is going to be landscaping in El Paso. So landscaping El Paso Landscapes, that's the company there. And if you look at their, organic ranking, I threw their domain here into this tool I use. It's called Ahrefs. I'll give it a refresh real quick just so you know that I'm showing you, the legitimate, accurate information and it's up to date to today. So they're getting, I'll explain what all of this means throughout the video, but we'll stick with traffic and keywords for now. So they're getting 1,400 people a month on their website and they're ranking with 300 keywords. And a keyword is just a word or a phrase that Google deems is a common search term and that you want to be ranking for and found for. So we can go in and we can see how they get their traffic and which keywords they're getting them from. So landscaping El Paso has a search volume of 1,300, which is very staggering that it's still under a 10 KD. This is very rare to find. So they get 368 people a month from that. You're usually looking for a 10% conversion, so that's about what they're getting, just a little over that. And they're in the second position. Sprinkler system repair near me, that has 6,600 searches. They're getting 181 people on their website a month, and from being in the 10th position, which obviously this is a fine keyword, but you usually want to stay location oriented and buyer intent, because this 6,600 searches, they're not all coming from El Paso, Texas. They're not all coming from Texas, and some of them might not even be coming from the US. They could be coming from Canada, from Mexico. But you always want to stay location. So sprinkler system repair near me in El Paso, something like that. Sprinkler repair system El Paso. It probably doesn't have, it's probably not a keyword that's usable, but that's just an example. And so I would try and stick more to these landscaping El Paso landscape. So it's 250 people are in El Paso looking for landscaping, and they're getting 83 people from that with the second position. So that's, that's over a 10% right there, which is really good. El Paso landscaping 500, they're getting 70 from being in the third position. Landscaping El Paso, Texas, that's another 150, 56. Front yard landscaping, tree removal, landscape El Paso. See, this one has a 300 and it's a really low KD. Landscape El Paso sprinkler repair. So that's what I'm talking about. It does have searches. It doesn't even exist. The KD doesn't even exist, and so they're getting quite a bit of people from that. And I would go through all of these, but again, there were 300 and it would take an absurd amount of time to go through every single one of them. But so this is kind of what you're missing out on with not having a website. You're not going to be able to, one, put the keywords on there to be able to rank, or two, start the process of ranking because you just don't have a website to build off of. And then a backlink and a referring domain is just, so a backlink is just a link within a website that points back to another. So for example, if I could click this landscaping in elpaso.com link, and it would take me back to their website, that would be a backlink. And then a referring domain is just the website in which the link is pointing back from. So they have 100 websites pointing back to them with a total of 1,000 backlinks. And we can see which exact links are pointing to them and which are actually bringing them power. So business site, they have 10 or 11 links coming from that, 10 do follows, which just means that those are 10 links that do pass power. If we go down to look for some of these, because they had 1,000, let's see where the majority are coming from. 32 from Ziploot, 22 from Talk to Action. Let's see, I'm sure there's one in here that has a few hundred since they have, interesting DIR. So directory, this has 618 links coming from it. So the way that you're going to be able to boost yourself up with backlinks is by not only by copying the competition, but by finding more authoritative links. So let's just real quick go in and see exactly which backlinks they're getting. And again, I don't want to go through all of these because there's over 1,000 and that would take a really long time. Plus they got Mashpee Landscaping. So this is a blog, and blogs are really good because not only does it show Google that you're a real person and willing to give value out onto the internet without asking for anything in return. But it just makes you look more credible when you have informative text descriptions out there on some other different pages that link back to. It just with ranking with Google, all that matters is relevance and credibility. And actually, that reminds me with backlinks. So the most important thing, I'll actually go to this page. The most important thing with backlinks is that they're not all created the same. I'm not saying that since they have 1,000, you need to go out and buy 2,000 to beat them. It's not the quantity, it's the quality. So you could easily beat these guys out with 500 backlinks that are, all have like 100 DRs, which is very rare. You won't get that. Nobody can get that. But you can easily beat them out with something like that. For example, you don't need to pass them in backlinks. You don't need to pass them in keywords. You don't need to pass them in referring domains. You just need to beat the authority that they have already. And also, again, just take from what they already have. So this is obviously kind of a rare example since they're in the #1 spot. You're not going to be looking to get 1,400 people being in the second spot, being in the third spot. So I pulled in the second spot, excuse me. So if we go back here, go down just one more, landscapingelpaso.texas.com, and that's what this one is here, Landscaping El Paso. And I'll refresh this too, just so you can see that this is all the legitimate and accurate information of today. So they get 781 people on their website, and let's look at their keywords. I'm sure it might be a little bit different other than Landscaping El Paso. So El Paso Landscaping, they're getting 174 from there, being in the second position. Landscaping El Paso, again, this one has a 1,300 searches a month. They're getting 119 people a month from that, being in the fourth position. And if you could just turn 10% of those people into clients, that's 19 more clients a month. And then same for this, just turn 10% more, that's 70. Or excuse me, 17, and this is 19, as I said. So yeah, I mean, this is really easy here. You're missing out on all of these searches. So we got El Paso Backyard Landscaping, that's another 250. El Paso Landscape, Backyard Landscaping El Paso. There's just so many searches here that you're missing out on, and these are all landscape. This is actually kind of crazy. You never see this many landscaping in a row. There's usually hardly ever any landscape keywords. So this is very impressive for your guys' area, your region. I would, definitely the things that I would say that you need to focus on the most is obviously getting yourself a website build. You need to build yourself out a website. Once you do that, fill it with high quality, relevant content. By content, I just mean words. And then within those words, you want to put keywords, and you don't want to overstuff because Google's algorithms are built out to, deter bot and spam like sites. So if you indicate that you're a bot or a spammer in any way, such as overstuffing with your keywords or overstuffing with backlinks, getting really irrelevant backlinks like a Pizza Hut link coming back to you, they're not going to pass power and they're not going to let you rank. So I usually do about 100 to 150 words per keyword, just to be sure that I'm completely safe within their algorithm. And then after you have that, go and focus on your backlinks, pull from what they have, find more authoritative links, and that's pretty much it. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is going to be citations. And the citation has a lot to do with the map pack listing here. So citation is just your business's name, address, and phone number, and you're going to list those throughout the web instead of directories. And a directory is just a business a website that allows you to do that. So things like Yellow Pages, 3 Best Rated, Easy Local, Local Database, Contractors Up. I think Landscapers Up is one. There's literally hundreds of them out there that you can put yourself in. The more the better, and again, the more relevant to your industry, the better. It helps with Google's credibility, and it'll get you raised through the map pack. And this is important because instead of a website button like you see here on a laptop or on a PC, it'll be a click to call button on a phone, and I think it's like 70, maybe higher than 70% of all Google searches are on mobile devices. So it's important to have your phone number listed and be listed right in front of their face as soon as they're looking up Landscaping El Paso. So that's pretty much it. If this is something you feel like you might be interested in, feel free to reach back out to me. My number is 812-827-3138. Thank you for your time and have a good rest of your day.